Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anmol. I'm a doctor based in India, and this is part 2 of how to ace competitive exams, where I share valuable things that I learned about how to effectively prepare for competitive exams. If you haven't watched part 1 already, please watch it. I've put the link in the description below. In part 1, I've spoken about why having a strong sense of purpose is important, how to make a time defined specific goals, and how to make plans and strategize to accomplish your goal, the importance of revision, and retaining what you've read through quality study over quantity. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to study smart, the importance of periodic self reviews, the effect of having a study partner and an accountability partner by your side during your preparation, the art of practicing MCQs, and internal motivation. So let's get started. So now there are many aspects to this, and I will try to cover this in a separate video, but to name a few would be much like an entrepreneur must study the market before starting a new business. When you start preparing for a competitive exams, you must study the current pattern of questions in the exam that you're aiming for. It basically consists of going through the previous 5 to 10 years of question papers, trying to assess what the current pattern is, trying to assess certain topics from which questions are repeatedly being asked, and just trying to get an overview of what kind of questions are being asked currently in the exam. In the past, I would say 4 to 5 years. For example, I remember when I was preparing for NEET PG, the pattern of questions had recently changed quite drastically, such that initially they used to ask many theoretical one-liners or very simple direct questions, very theoretical questions from subjects, while the pattern had changed to where they asked more sort of questions which were clinical, which tested your applied knowledge of subjects. A question where right from anatomy to biochemistry to physiology, pharmacology, surgery, medicine, everything was integrated into one question. So that kind of applied questions had started to increasingly being asked instead of theoretical one-liners in the NEET PG exam. Also, I remember when I was preparing for NEET UG, there was a shift in trend where they started asking more of image-based questions. So basically, having a general idea of what the current pattern is really helps you get an overview, and it helps you prepare better. So studying the pattern of question paper is one aspect of studying smart that gives you an edge in your preparation. Another aspect would be focusing more on currently relevant topics. Recent updates, something latest that has come, latest guidelines of something, topics which are relevant in the current scenario, like again, coronavirus. So that's how knowing the current pattern of the exam and focusing more on the things that have more probability of being asked, like currently relevant topics and latest updates, will give you an edge, and it will dramatically increase your efficiency of preparation. It's extremely important to periodically assess how well your preparation is going through practice tests by giving as many practice tests as possible. Now, these tests should A, replicate the exam environment exactly. That is, you're supposed to be giving them sitting at a table, away from all your books, away from all distractions, and giving them as seriously and sincerely as you would in the exam. Also, they must include a large portion of the syllabus, the more the better. And that's why I always say that these grand tests, the tests which cover a large portion of your syllabus, are much better, because they always give you a very good idea of how much you are able to retain the important information that you've read throughout your preparation. Also, these tests should preferably be against a large number of people to really get a fair idea of where you stand in your preparation, because ultimately in the exam you're finally going to be competing against lakhs of people, right? So from the very beginning, you should give tests which include a large number of population. So regularly giving these grand tests sincerely and seriously and against a lot of people through these national level test series is, I think, very, very important. I've seen that people are often reluctant to give these tests from the beginning. There's this fear that what if I don't do well? or if they don't do well in a few tests initially, they easily get discouraged and they stop doing it. There's this another common excuse that I've just started to prepare, I haven't even gone through the entire syllabus yet, so I'm obviously not going to do well, so there's no point of giving these tests, it's only going to demotivate me. But that's not how it works. These tests actually give you a very good practice of the real exam environment. They give you a very good idea of where you stand currently and what things do you need to improve upon. Recalling my experience for NEET UG, I used to give weekly short syllabus tests throughout my preparation, and in the last 2-3 months I gave a lot of grand tests. And for NEET PG, I used to give monthly short tests along with monthly grand tests. Right from the first month of my preparation, I started giving grand tests right away. And obviously, initially, since I had not gone through the entire syllabus, my rank initially used to be 5-digit and 4-digit, and it gradually improved through each subsequent grand test every month as I covered the syllabus. So that's how it works. But nevertheless, it's very important to keep giving these practice tests sincerely and regularly, because they not just help you figure out how well you are prepared knowledge wise, they also give you a very good idea of how well you are able to do in the exact exam conditions, how well you are able to perform under pressure, how well you are able to manage your time. So this is the real stuff. This is the thing that is actually going to help you in the exam. And they also give you a good idea of what common mistakes you're making in the exam environment. Like, I remember while preparing for my pre-medical test, NEET UG, I used to do a lot of silly mistakes, which I figured out by giving these tests only, that these are the mistakes that I'm doing regularly. These are the kind of mistakes that I'm making regularly, and I eventually improved upon them, and that really helped me. Now, personally, I'm not that much of a fan of group study, because I think too much of a crowd leads to chatter, a lot of chatter and frequent distractions. But having a study partner definitely helps. My mom wasn't exactly a study partner to me because she wasn't preparing, I was. But she was someone that I could always discuss concepts with. If I had trouble understanding anything, she would help me out. And also, if I had trouble memorizing something, we could do it together, so that I was able to remember it better. Discussing and studying definitely helps you remember things better, and that's why I think having a study partner does increase your efficiency. But you obviously have to be careful that you don't waste time together and you're both able to help each other out equally. Having an accountability partner is actually a concept that I've only become recently familiarized with. But when I look back, I realized that my mom had always been a solid accountability partner to me throughout my entire preparation. An accountability partner is someone who keeps you in check, makes sure you're disciplined throughout your entire preparation, and someone who keeps you accountable for your actions in this very difficult and vulnerable time. It could be your study partner, it could be anyone, but just having someone who makes sure that you're committed to your goals, that you remember your goals each day through this entire period of your preparation can really help you. I really believe that solving MCQs is an art. There are so many aspects to effectively cracking a multiple choice question, and again, I think it would require a separate video. But all I'm trying to say here is that you do not necessarily need to know everything about the question and each and every option of the question to be able to answer an MCQ correctly. Sometimes you can rule out certain options and get to the correct answer. Sometimes you can answer by exclusion. Sometimes you can crack an MCQ just by using your common sense and having a presence of mind. But the art of solving MCQs can only be learned after you've solved enough of them. So that's why I always emphasize on practicing MCQs more and more each day instead of just a theory-based learning. Each topic you study, after reading the theory, make sure that you're solving enough MCQs related to the topic, because that is what's ultimately going to help you in the exam. Not just reading the theory, but being able to apply whatever you've read to be able to solve an MCQ. That's what's going to happen in the exam. You have to be able to use what you have read in your theory to crack the MCQ, and that's where practicing MCQs comes in. You have to practice more and more questions each day to actually be able to apply what you've read in theory in the exam, and that's how it's going to help you in the exam. The preparation phase is going to be one of the hardest years of your life. You will have thousands of distractions each day trying to sway away your focus, trying to distract you from your goals. And you're going to have self-doubt and fear. Is this really worth it? Is all of this hard work really going to lead somewhere? You would feel like this is a lost cause now. I'm not going to be able to do this. And in such times of self-doubt and fear, you are going to need a strong sense of purpose, something that motivates you internally, which I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the reason why you started preparing. Why is this important to you? Why exactly do you want to crack this exam? How important is this to you? That internal motivation is what is going to come to your rescue in such times of doubt and fear in the form of a clear perspective. So always try to remember why you started this journey, why is this important to you, and keep that spark within you alive. So that's it. That's a couple of things that I learned during my preparation that I just wanted to put together and share with you. And I sincerely hope that these help you prepare better for these exams. If you have any questions, any doubts, or any difficulties, you can always get in touch with me through Instagram and Facebook. You could also drop your questions in the comments below and I will get back to them. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one.